Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. In this game we're going to be looking at one of my favorite team compositions from set 7, and this is an Astral team composition. Astral trait largely plays through the Mage trait, so it is a combination Mage plus Astral setup. And I've always liked these Mage-based team compositions. I did a number of videos on them back when set 7 was actually out. This is the set revival, of course, for set 7. And we're just going to take a few looks at this particular team setup. And we're going to lean a little bit more heavily in the Astral direction. I wouldn't mind getting a game that leans more heavily in the Mage direction, but you usually want to have a Mage Nomsi if you're going to play more into vertical mages. And this game does not have a Mage Nomsi. I think Nomsi is Cannoneer in this game, from what I recall when I played this one. I did have a game that I played mages that was a pretty good one, but I ended up losing out to another player at the end, and ultimately I think I can get a better mage game before the set comes to a conclusion. Anyway, as far as this game goes, the initial encounter is to have double Treasure Dragon. Normally there's a Treasure Dragon at the end of stage 4. This will put a Treasure Dragon at the end of stage 3 as well. That means we're going to be getting a little bit more loot than in a normal game. Probably not quite as much as in like a Scuttle Puddle or a Crab Rave lobby, but definitely more than you would get in a typical lobby. I was trying to figure out what I was going to be playing here. I was probably, if anything, leaning towards Lagoon at this point in time because I had the early 2-star Talia, I had a Zac drop, and then I also had the Malphite here in the store, so I can already start getting the Lagoon stacks like right here off the bat. That said, I did want to wait to see what my options were before committing anything. I don't think Lagoon is especially great in the set revival. You see people playing it a fair amount because people just think it's fun to play. Typically, you don't want to play Lagoon unless you can get +1, either +1 to the Lagoon trade itself or +1 team size. If you can't get one of them, it's typically not worthwhile playing this. There's just kind of other things that are better. By the way, look at my items. I have really good items for this setup too. And then the dilemma I have here, I actually get a whole bunch of augments that are really good. Why couldn't I get this many good choices in a normal game? I have Slammin', which is just an amazing economic augment. With the golden item remover, you can always get the Slammin' extra XP every round. I also have Protectors of the Cosmos, which is an Astral trait, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. I also have the super Ionic Spark, which is great for any kind of spellcasting comp, and I have Cooking Pot, which gives me a frying pan, and it also would allow me to make a Mage Spat immediately, because I already have a tier, and that's the recipe for Mage Spat. But it was a really tough choice, but after thinking it over, I said, no, I'm gonna do Protectors of the Cosmos, because I think that this is better for the high loot lobby that we find ourselves in. Again, we're going to get double Treasure Dragons. Also, my items are really good for a spellcasting setup. I can go ahead and do Spear of Shojin, and then into Gnasher's Tooth. Now, the Gnasher's Tooth is not quite the same as it used to be back in some of the... for a long, long time, it was like the spellcasting setup for anyone that had higher mana cost. Was you do Spear of Shojin, then you do Gnasher's Tooth, and then you do like Jeweled Gauntlet. And that was like always the setup. Has been reworked a little bit since then. There's still good synergy between Spear of Shojin and Gnasher's Tooth. Spear of Shojin gives you additional mana per auto attack. Gnasher's Tooth gives you extra attack speed, so you're auto attacking faster, and it also gives you additional mana on each auto attack. You gain more if the ability crits. And by the way, there I get a little Astral Orb for 2-star Vlad, so that's pretty nice there. And so what you really want is you do want to get the Jeweled Gauntlet on this setup. If you're going to do Spear of Shojin, Gnasher's Tooth, Jeweled Gauntlet is the next item to put on there because it synergizes so well with the Gnasher's Tooth, as you get additional, additional mana per auto attack if the unit crits on its previous auto attack. Now I'm going to move these items over to Lux, even though the items, even though it's a 2-star Talia, I am going to put them on Lux. And that has to deal with the augment that I'm running here. Again, I'm running Protectors of the Cosmos for my augment. What this does is it's a little bit like the guild, a little bit like the scrap trait. It's essentially a scrap version of Astral. Scrap trait being probably my single favorite trait in TFT history from back in set 6 and then brought back in a couple other sets. You essentially get an increased shield for every component that you put on an Astral unit. It is a 35 health shield for each component on an Astral unit, and then that goes to the rest of the team. By the way, I get a 2-star Malphite here. I don't know if I can actually play the Malphite, but I will at least grab it as long as it doesn't cost me econ to play this unit. But anyway, right now I have 4 total components. Oh, and by the way, I get a Nidalee out of the Astral Orb, so that's really nice as well. Right now I have 4 total components. I have 2 completed items. That's 4 total components. 4 times 35 is 70 times 2. So that's a 140 health shield on all of my units because I have 4 components on an Astral unit. Again, this is going to scale really well throughout the game because the more items I get, the bigger the shield. And it actually is going to be helpful in situations like this one where there's a Kiana diving on top of the Lux. I mean, Lux, the shield is, again, not gigantic, but getting an additional 140 health shield, like that does help when assassins dive on the carries like that. I think Lux would have survived regardless, but yeah, it does help. And the shield goes on the whole team. Now, the benefit only applies for items on Astral units. So if I put these items on Talia, I won't get a shield. But Talia will get the shield, even though she herself is not an Astral unit, if the items are on an Astral unit. I hope that's not too confusing for me to tongue-tie my way through that. But basically, if I put items on Astral units, the whole team will get the benefit, even if they themselves are not Astral units. In any case, though, I did win the first 3 rounds. It's always nice to get off to a good start like that. I am going to be last pick here on the carousel, but that's okay. Again, any item component is going to be pretty good here. I was kind of hoping I could get the Volibear with the belt because frontline stuff sounds good. I can't get that, so sure, we'll take a frontline item here. Take the chain vest. Can slap that on Vlad. For some reason, I don't have Skarner yet, which is a little bit weird. I'd actually kind of like to have Skarner so I can put him on my board. All right, there he is. He finally shows up there. And I'm not going to play the Skarner for the time being because I actually don't... Or do I level here? I can't remember if I leveled here or not. If I level, I can get an additional rank of Astral value here, and it wouldn't drop me below 20 gold. So there's a good case to be made. But I think I stayed at level 4 just to push Econ. As far as what the Astral trait does, so it does 2 things. One, it gives ability power to your Astral units. The more Astral units you play, the more AP your team gets. It's very minimal at Astral 3. Astral 3 only gives your Astral units 10 AP, which is like whatever. I mean, I guess it helps a little bit, but 10 AP is not a whole lot to write home about. At Astral 5, I believe it goes up to 50, and I think it goes up to 100 at Astral 8. So if you get all the way to Astral 8, you do get a humongous amount of AP for your team. Still, the thing that people mostly know about this trait is it gives econ benefits as well. It is an economic trait in addition to being a trait that gives the additional ability power to your Astral units. Well, the way this works is you will get an orb after every combat round. There it is popping out, and you will get some kind of a reward depending on the total star level of all your Astral units. So it's the total star level of all the Astral units on the board. And no, putting 2 copies of the same unit on the board does not work. Right now I have a 2-star Vlad, that's 2 stars. I have a 2-star Nidalee, that's another 2 stars, and a 1-star Lux. So I have 5 total Astral units on my board right now. I actually went ahead and looked up the cheat sheet to see what I would get from what the percentage odds are. So if you have 5 total star levels of Astral, you have 20% odds to get 1 gold, 15% odds to get each of Vlad, Nidalee, or Skarner, 25% odds to get 2 gold, and then 10% odds to get Lux. So you're likely going to get either 1 or 2 gold worth of value out of the orb. And of course, you generally would prefer to get the champions over the gold. But, you know, you're going to get some kind of economic value. At lower ranks of Astral, it's not too significant. Just a couple gold worth of income. By the way, that round was kind of sad there. That other person was also playing Astral, and for some reason they rolled themselves down to 0 gold. I don't really understand why they went to 0 gold at the end of stage 2, but I guess they wanted to maintain win streak. And because they rolled themselves down to 0 gold, they did have Lux 2-star, and that beat my board. So sadly, win streak does come to an end, but it was a very good stage 2. As I said, I won 4 out of the 5 rounds. I'm level 5, 40 gold here, which is, you know, that's a nice place to be overall. And I feel like my board strength is reasonably good here too. I just really want to get another Lux to play on my board. And hey, look at that. I got a rod. Now I just need a glove for Jeweled Gauntlet. Ah, there we go. Okay, sometimes the game just makes it easy. I mean, it gave me the components for Shojin, Nashor's, and Jeweled Gauntlet all back to back to back over the course of this stage. And then the sword, now the sword I don't have as much use for, but I can just stuff it on Nidalee, and that's going to give me additional shielding power. Again, via this, what is it, Protectors of the Cosmos augment. So I'll just have to stuff that on Nidalee. If I put that on Nidalee, I will have, what, 8 total components? And then it's whatever 8 times 35 is. I think that's 280. I'm just going to check real quick to see. 35 times 8. Yeah, 280. So you can see, like, the shields are starting to get significant. Like, a 280 shield on everybody on the team is pretty darn good. And in these high loot lobbies, it gets more and more significant. Now, of course, I have forgotten to put the sword on Nidalee, so I'm going to get 35 less than that. Oh, wait, nope, there we go. All right, there we go. So I get my 280 shield. And yeah, you can see the shields, you know, it's like 20% of the health on a number of these units. Like, that's not nothing. And it's going to scale nicely into the late game, too, because the shield goes on everyone. It goes on the whole team, not just the Astral unit. So yeah, we actually just plow right through that board. And the only sad thing is it's a bit of a shame that I wasn't able to maintain win streak. Although the person who did go to 0 gold to maintain win streak just lost a round, so that's great news. They're level 5, 30 gold, so they're actually a bit behind me economically, and that's going to help because it does look like that person, Evil Tri-Blader, is going to be contesting me. All right, next augment's Prismatic. I don't really want to see Prismatic augment here. I'm looking at the different options. I probably should have thought about Exiles, because that would have just given me absolutely insane shielding value. I could have, like, doubled up on the shielding, but instead I decided to go for Radiant Relics. Thought I could maybe pull something good here, and I actually do. I was looking, obviously, for something AP related. I thought about the Radiant Void Staff, but I was like, I think that the Radiant Ionic Spark is better here, because that's going to give me Magic Resist Shred for, like, almost the entire enemy team. Plus, it does give me another item. Oh, that was one of the other reasons why I was thinking about this, is not only do I get a Radiant item, which is, like, great to have, but it also gives me another item for Protectors of the Cosmos value. So that's another 2 components. That's another 70 shield. So I think I'm up to, like, I think I'm on a 350 health shield at this point for the whole team. And like I said, this is really nice because it's going to Magic Resist Shred pretty much the whole board. Now, Vlad's standing in the center of the board. He doesn't quite hit everything. It's all units within 3 hexes get, like, this massive Magic Resist Shred. So it's not going to hit, like, the corners of the board, but it's going to hit most of the enemy board is going to have their MR shredded. And that was one thing I was missing on my board. You know, I have all this damage on Lux. Lux is going to cast pretty quickly. She's going to have the ability for her spells to crit, but I didn't have an MR shred on my board, and that was one thing that I kind of was lacking. Hey, I get a Lux out of the orb. Very, very nice. Now, you might have noticed I did go to level 6 before I started rerolling here, and that is always a question if you're going to play an Astral board. Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay on level 5 and roll on level 5 to try to hit, like, 3-star Skarner, 3-star Vlad, 3-star Nidalee? Or do you want to try to go to level 6 and focus on Lux? And my decision in this game was I wanted to go to level 6 and focus on Lux. It would be nice to hit, like, 3-star Vlad, 3-star Nidalee, 3-star Skarner, but they're not actually super crucial to the team that I'm playing. Like, I don't have to 3-star these units to play the board. They're more nice to have. Now, maybe if I had been, like, real close on Skarner, I have had games where I just hit, like, a big run of, like, Skarners or Vlads. If I had been on, like, 7 Vlads or 8 Skarners, then yeah, I probably would have stayed on level 5 for a bit. But I wasn't close to 3-starring any of those units at all. I have 4 Vlads, 4 Nidalees. I have 1 Skarner. Like, I'm not close to 3-starring any of these. And Lux is the unit that really matters, because Lux is the main carry on this board until you can get into late game, and then you can start playing Aurelion Sol. So I opt to roll on level 6, and level 6 is also a nice place to roll because it lets me play 5 Astral, 3 Mage. That gets, all 5 of the Astral units except Aurelion Sol on the board, so we get that 50 AP. We also get more total Astral star levels, so we get better loot orbs, and it lets me play 3 mages. If you roll on level 5, you can't play 5 Astral, 3 mage unless you have a mage spatula, which is one reason why a mage spat makes the comp a lot better. But that was not an option, so since I don't have a mage spat, I think it's better to be on level 6 here. And it's like, if I hit the Nidalee and the Vlad and the Skarner, if I hit them, I hit them. But the unit I really want is Lux. And I have better odds to hit Lux on level 6. So that orb gave me 3 gold. Hey, there's a Vlad. So again, I'm just going to slow roll here and hope I can hit these. I'm aware I'm being contested by somebody. I also find Silas, which is great. Silas just replaces the Talia. And that gives me Bruiser trait with the Skarner and a little bit more frontline. And I'll just continue rolling here. Okay, I'm hitting the Vlads. I would prefer to have Lux. As long as I have 1-star Skarner and 1-star Silas, I'm going to put these items on the Vlad for the time being, because Vlad is a semi-decent tank. Skarner's a little bit of a better tank, but, you know, Vlad, he's a mage. He'll cast twice. He'll get some healing from his ability. He's certainly not a terrible tank. And I should move the Chain Vest off of Silas and put it on Skarner, because I do not get Protectors of the Cosmos value while the vest is on the Silas. And that's a reason why Silas is kind of just going to be a trait bot on this board. I really need to put items on the Astral units, or I'm not taking advantage of my, what's it called? I'm not taking advantage of my initial augment. Oh, that's a great start. Skarner and a Lux. I'm already on 5 Luxes, so that's nice. Also, I got, I believe I got a Vlad and a Nidalee out of that orb. So let's count up my total star levels right now for Astral. So I have, let's see, a 2-star Vlad, 2-star Nidalee, 2-star Lux, that's 6 star levels, and then 1 Skarner, 1 Varus. So I have 8 total star levels at the moment. I'm going to look at the cheat sheet, which again is never available in-game, so hooray for that. I have, let's see, I have about 35 to 40% odds to get gold drops. And then I have 17% odds for a Varus, 17% odds for a Lux, 8% odds each for a Skarner and Vlad pair, a Nidalee Vlad pair, a Nidalee Skarner pair, and then I have 5% odds to get an item component. So yes, as you play deeper into Astral Trait, you can start getting item components. Right now, the odds to get an item component are pretty low. It's only 5% to get it out of the orb. But once you get up to higher star levels, it does start becoming more significant. All right, now we get our first of 2 treasure dragons, as I get another Skarner here. And it looks like we're all going to get an augment from this as well. So I'm looking through and I was like, oh, Exiles. Yeah, I thought about taking that on the last one. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just double up on the shields. Now I'm going to have Exile shields and the Protector of the Cosmos shield. That's going to be fantastic. We'll go ahead and make a Gargoyle Stone Plate. And now I still have some leftover items. Now I have to spread out a little bit, because if they stay, if my units stand next to each other, they lose the Exile benefit. But all right, I'm on, what, 8 Nidalees? Okay, now the problem is I'm running out of bench space here. But I'm on 8... See, I want to buy the Skarner, but I'm on 8 Nidalees, 8 Vladimirs. I can't buy this Skarner. I really need 1 more Nidalee or 1 more Vlad to pop up. And then, really? I could have been on 6 Skarners here. That's disappointing, but there's just nothing I can do about this, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. Again, I also should move that rod off the Silas. All right, can I hit one of these units? Maybe the orb will just give me... Nope, just gave me gold. I would have preferred one of these units. There's another Skarner. That's 4 Skarners I couldn't buy. Oh, man. And then there we go. Okay. That's much better. Now I hit the 3-star Nidalee, and most importantly, that finally cleared out some bench space. So now I have to stuff a rod on someone, and I guess I'll put it on the Skarner. Now, Nidalee was probably the least important unit for me to 3-star on this entire composition, but she does give me more Astral star levels. So what is it? I gained another star level from that. So what is it? I have 9 total Astral star levels now. 2 from Vlad, 2 from Skarner, 3 from Nidalee. That's, what is it? 2 is 4. Nidalee gets me to 7. 9 from Lux, and then 10 from Varus. Yeah, I have 10 total Astral star levels at the moment. By the way, the Exile shield plus Protector of the Cosmos shield keeps Lux alive in this fight. She 100% dies without those double shields as she gets dove on by Assassin. Now, she finally gets taken out, but I think that the Vlad Silas pair will eliminate this Volibear over there. Come on, this is taking forever. Okay, there we go. So yeah, and the the Vlad is actually pretty tanky right now, and so that's pretty good. Nobody else is win streaking either. And then, oh, hello, a Mage Crest. That is like just about the best possible thing I could have gotten. Again, this is a mage team composition, so we really, really want to make use of additional mage stuff. And I'll just go ahead and slap it on the Varus for right now. This is great, though, because when I get to the late game, I will need to find Aurelion Soul. Again, the 5-cost Astral Dragon, or 8-cost, I guess, technically. This will allow me to turn him into a mage, and then I can also look to play another mage in order to get 5 mages in, which will be a nice boost. That means that the mages... I think that the 3 mage... They double cast at 90% ability power. I believe 5 mages is they cast at 120%. Thank you, past self. Did not know that was going to pop up on the screen, but that's nice to have that highlighted. So ideally now I can put the mage cap long term on Aurelion Soul, and then I can add the Zoe to the board, who is the 5-cost mage. And that will be really strong if I can hit it. But for the moment, I still have to hit Lux, so I'm staying here on level 6. This is a little bit longer than I would like to be here on level 6, but it's not really optional. I need 3-star Lux, and the odds are just by far the best to hit her here on level 6. I know I'm contested. I'm contested by this other player. The good news is I'm beating them. There's actually another Astral player in this lobby, although I think they pivoted out in favor of something else. I think they're just running it temporarily for Econ. All right, there's another Lux, so that's great. There's another Varus, so I mean, I'll take that. And come on, I just need 2 more Luxes now. Of course, I could get them out of the orb, but, you know, I can't count on them just coming out of the orbs either. One issue is that if you get really deep into the Astral trait, you stop getting the units out of the orbs. You just start getting huge loot drops, or you start getting item components. You can actually even get full items out of the orbs eventually if you play deeply enough into the trait. So that's not an issue quite yet, but it is something to be aware of. I can't just, like, count on the orbs getting me a 3-star Lux. Anyway, so now we have quite a few Astral star levels. What is it? We have 3-star Vlad, 3-star Nidalee. That's 6 Astral star levels right there. And then another 6 from the other 2. The other 3 Astral units are all 2-star. So what, I have 12 Astral star levels right now. Yeah, 12 Astral star levels. So right now I have 20% odds to get a Lux, 30% odds to get a Varus. And then I have 25% odds to get a component, 10% odds to get a full item. Yeah, the loot rewards start getting pretty significant. Astral is something where if you just start snowballing ahead of the lobby, you can just start getting to a point where, like, you out-tempo the rest of the lobby because the amount of loot that you're getting just kind of gets out of control. And again, it just synergizes so well with the Protectors of the Cosmos augments. Astral is a lot stronger if you have this augment because the loot that you get makes your team not just stronger from the items, but it's giving you a shield every round as well. Plus, of course, I have to get the Exile shield, and I've gotten +2 items from my augments. I got a Radiant item from my 2nd augment, and then I got a Mage Crest from my 3rd one. And yes, those do count as items for Protectors of the Cosmos value. How many total items do I have right now? I need to, like, sit down and count up just how many of these I have. Plus, we're going to have another treasure dragon that's going to give me more items again. All right, what am I going to get out of this one? Yeah, see, I just got a component just like that. Boom. And I was like, yeah, I'm down for Sunfire Cape. I don't have a heal cut on my team right now. Sunfire doesn't scale amazing into the late game, but yeah, sure. I'll grab that. Skarner, hitting 3-star Skarner is a little bit less likely at this point, but you never know. I am on 6 Skarners. Could always get, could always get lucky. It's really disappointing I couldn't pick up those Skarners earlier because obviously I would have 3-star Skarner right now. Just a tiny bit of better sequencing luck with my bench would have given me a 3-star Skarner, but oh well. All right, so how many full item components do I have? 3 on Lux, 3 on Vlad, that's 6. Another Mage Cap on the Varus, that's 7. And then 3 more floating components. So that's 7 times 2, 14, plus 3. I have 17 total components right now. And each one gives me a 35 shield. That's a 595 value shield. Now, it wasn't enough in that fight, unfortunately. My big win streak does come to an end. That person had a tiny but deadly running on their Mirage board. They had a lot of attack speed on Deja. But look, I just get another item component there. I'm really starting to get the item components here, so that's pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to get Protectors of the Cosmos value by putting that on Silas, but I was just trying to stash it because there's going to be a Treasure Dragon next round. I didn't want to commit to a completed item until I saw specifically what we were going to get out of the Treasure Dragon round next round. Still, things are looking really good. I'm on 84 health. The whole rest of the lobby's on 40 health. There are a number of Assassin players in this lobby, so I'm going to box up in the corner to try and protect Lux. Turns out that was a good idea because Kiana's going to jump on the other corner. Now, it doesn't look like I needed the full box up protection, but I still feel like it wasn't the worst thing to have here. I could have easily had an assassin diving on me. Now I just need to keep Lux alive in this fight. She will kill everything if she stays alive, but oh, well, so much for that. Can Vlad actually win this fight with the Lee Sin? Come on, Vlad, get your ult off and lifesteal. Okay, there we go. Whew. 3-star Vlad did in fact win that. It's a good thing I had the Sunfire to reduce the healing on that unit. Now we get our next Treasure Dragon, and it's a Radiant Treasure Dragon. So everyone's going to get a Radiant item. And I was like, Radiant Void Staff? Okay, I don't really need more MR Shred, but you know what? I'm not going to sit... I need gold to roll. Let's just take this. Why? Sure, why not? This is good enough. It's not exactly what I would have taken, but I don't mind having this, and I don't want to waste the gold rerolling. My Astral Orb in the last round also gave me a completed item component. It gave me a Titan's Resolve, which is a decent item on Nidalee. And there we go, just like that. 3-star Lux pops up eventually. It did take some time, but I hit by the end of stage 4. So now I need to move my items around, and I was like, well, if I have this Radiant Void Staff, I will at least put that on Lux. It actually has pretty good mana regen on it. Was it as 4 mana regen per second? So I'll go ahead and do the, the item combo here. There's another Varus, so that's nice. And we'll just keep leveling. There we go. And what I really want to put on the board right now is another mage, but I don't have a mage in my shop. So for the time being, I will just put another Skarner on the board. And I want somebody to be holding these items. So let's put some of these items on. I'll put the Titans on Skarner. I have this leftover cloak. I was like, I'm not sure what to do with this. Maybe I can make a, it was like Deathblade. It's not a bad Varus item, but Varus is kind of a trait bot. It's like, I could also do like Bloodthirster on Nidalee, maybe? I wasn't exactly sure. Once again, the shields from Exiles plus Protectors of the Cosmos, really helpful on Lux here. She gets dove on by Assassins. So I think she loses a little bit of mana generation by dropping the Spear of Shojin, but like she gets a Radiant item, so it's clearly worth it. She is hitting very, very hard right now on this board. And we just need to take out that Graves. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that board was win streaking earlier, but it looks like they haven't quite managed to get their Assassin team all the way upgraded yet. They're on like 7 Kianas, 7 Dianas, 7 Volibears, and yeah, they look like they're struggling a bit. Now I need to get to level 9. Oh, wow, look at that huge gold drop. That's really, really nice. Now we need to get to level 9, and I really need to rush there because I need to try and find Aurelion Soul. This board is not going to be able to win the lobby without hitting a soul. And as a 5-cost unit, the odds of hitting this unit are just so much better at level 9 than they are on level 8. So I have to rush there. I'm actually going to use one of my many Reforgers here and see what I get. And I get a Kraken. Not exactly what I want. I don't really have enough attack speed to make this useful. Probably could have just reforged this again, but I decided I would stick with it. It's not a terrible Varus item. He doesn't have Swift Shot trade-in, though, so his attack speed, as I said, is not so great. But I decided it was just an item. I'd keep it on him. Now, look at this board. This is the board that's been win streaking the lobby, and oh my god, they have a 3-star Olaf with a Radiant Bloodthirster and a Radiant Krakens and a Rage Blade. I was like, oh my god. Well, that's terrifying. I was like, I don't know if I can ever kill that thing. I just have to try to get to a higher, like a higher level and try to deal with this. Hopefully I can CC that unit. If there is one thing that Olaf was missing, that Olaf did not have any crowd control protection. But I still have items left over, so I was like, all right, Bloodthirster for Nidalee, and then I'm trying to make some Asol items. I was like, for Asol, I'm going to do Spear of Shojin plus Jeweled Gauntlet plus the Mage Hat. And this way, at least I managed to get all my items in play, so there we go. I have an awful lot of items on my team right now. I'm not even exactly sure how many this is, but I think I'm getting close to, I think I'm getting like an 800 shield or something like that, because I just have so many items on all my Astral units. This board looks pretty darn strong. They are on 1 HP. They're doing one of those, I'm going to go to level 9 and play a lot of the legendary units. But like they have 2-star Bard, they have a Shyvana, they have a Yasuo with bizarrely a Radiant Crown Guard for some reason. Do I have enough damage to kill this unit? I was like, maybe if Lux is alive, but no. No, unfortunately, Lux does get taken out. It looks like I don't have quite enough to beat this board. That said, this board is level 9, 0 gold, 1 HP. So I think I can probably get them out of the lobby sooner or later if someone else doesn't take them out of the lobby for me. That Shyvana did do 17,000 damage, though. Ooh, okay. Well, another carousel. There's a unit I desperately want here, which is the Zoe. Zoe would let me play 5 mages, and of course she is the 5-cost mage. That would be an awesome unit. I am, of course, the last pick, though. Is that going to stick around? I'm hoping that Blitzcrank player is not going to take it, but they do. Well, as soon as they do that, I was like, all right, well, you know, if I can't play Zoe, I'll play Bard. I might as well play Bard instead, because Bard is at least going to increase my shop odds. I don't have Mystic Trade, I don't have any guild stuff in on this board, but it will at least be a useful unit to play. I mean, it's better than like anything else I could play on this level up. And I will, in fact, put the Mage Hat on the Bard so he double casts. And I think I'm going to stuff one of these Shojins on him. I have like an excess of Spear of Shojins here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, again, I do not get Protectors of the Cosmos value for any item that I put on the Bard, but it's still worthwhile to do so. All right, we'll put the Krakens back on Varus, and then I've got these items. I'm just going to stuff these on Nidalee. These are intended to go on Aurelion Sol. I'm aware that these are not especially great Nidalee items, but hey, we get the big shield, and that's what matters. Bard is not going to die before he gets his cast off, and then that's going to help me increase my shop odds for future rounds. He gets the double cast off, right? Or did he get the second cast off? I guess so. Animation kind of overlapped. This board just has a 2-star Yasuo to be concerned about, but it looks like my team's strong enough to deal with that, and we're going to knock them down to 3 HP. So their Dragonmancer board looks like it just wasn't strong enough there, for better or for worse. There's another Varus. I'm getting close on the 3-star Varus now. I get another item here. This is wild. I have so many items. So many items. I've just been getting them printed out of the Astral Orb. I kind of would prefer to just get money right now, so I can get to level 9 a little bit faster. But yeah, sure, you know what? Another Jeweled Gauntlet. Why not? Jeweled Gauntlets for everybody. That's my 3rd Jeweled Gauntlet. But, like, I'll put one on... I have one on Lux. I'm going to put one on Aurelion Sol. And if I can find Zoe, I'll put one on Zoe too. So I can use all of them. They're not going to get wasted. I did kind of flub my positioning there. I was trying to make sure that Lux would be on the opposite side. I think I was trying to dodge some assassins, but like I also managed to get on the opposite side from this Deja, so that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, the Deja has a Radiant Gunblade, so it's healing off all the damage it deals. I don't think I have quite enough to take this unit out. I can kill pretty much everything else on the board, but I don't think I have enough for this unit. Oh, well, wait a minute. One more crit from Lux. Oh, not quite. Not quite. But that person is on 1 life remaining. They're down on, what, like 8 health, something like that. So they're not going to be... hopefully not around too much longer. One of the nice things I did is I did preserve an awful lot of health in this game. And then look at this, another belt. What the heck? So, so many of these items in this game. It's wild. I am hoping that I can go to level 6 and roll down on the beginning of the next stage. So hopefully I'll get some more money here. I am going to grab the Lilia just because I need another unit for 5 mages. Again, I really, really, really want Zoe, but if I can't play Zoe, then I will play this unit because that's probably the next best unit available. The good news is I'm getting more gold here. This is, again, a pretty high loot lobby. All right, now here's the moment of truth. Can we find a soul on level 9? I don't have a ton of gold to roll with here, unfortunately, and I need that unit. Oh, well, sometimes the game just rewards you. Because if I don't find ASO on level 9, I'm actually in a great deal of trouble. Now I get the 8 Astral, and that's what makes my whole board come together. And I can take another item, and I was like, I have enough AP items. I need a frontline item. Let's take something for the Skarner here. So, all right, let's get the Jeweled Gauntlets, and then now I'll put this on Skarner, and then I'll put the, again, Spear Shojin Nidalee, pretty terrible, but I don't know where else I'm going to put that. And yeah, now we got the 8 Astral in, so it's a humongous boost for my team. It gives me, what is it, the 100 AP to all my Astral units, and I get another carry, because that's what this board needs. The problem is Lux is the sole carry for most of the game. You need ASOL to be dual carry in the late game. And oh, I thought I was going to lose that round. The Olaf did 19,000 damage, but Lux pops it at the last second, and there we go. There's the Zoe. That's the other unit I wanted. So let's go, and by the way, I get another item here. Oh my god, so many components coming out of here. So I was going to put this on Nidalee, and then I was like, oh my god, 2-star Zoe. I need to itemize this unit. Like, I have to itemize Zoe. I'm aware I will not get Protectors of the Cosmos value, but this is a 2-star Zoe and a 5 mage comp. So let's go ahead and make a Spear of Shojin, and then make a Nashor's Tooth, and now I need to get a Jeweled Gauntlet over to the Zoe as well. I can move it off the Varus. I don't have quite enough time to do that this round. But yeah, now I got the 2-star Zoe. She's going to be doing all kinds of awesome stuff for me. So what did she do? Oh, she put the invulnerability bubble down on the first cast. And then what is she going to do? Oh, she put the laser down. Oh my god. The laser damage just snipes the Deja in the back line. And over here, it looks like the Deja board I beat on the Ghost Round hit the Olaf board. That's what I want. I'm actually more concerned about the Olaf board there. We're going to get another gold drop here. So let's move that Jeweled Gauntlet over to Zoe. And I'll put the other items on Varus. I am only 2 Varuses away. So I'm hoping I can maybe hit that. There's one more. So I'm 1 Varus off Varus 3-star. The Skarner, a little bit less likely to happen, but you never know. And for this round, it's the Olaf board. Assassin Olaf. So what are we going to do? We're going to box up and make sure all of our important units are protected here. Yeah, let's protect that dragon. Gotta protect Lux. So Olaf and Diana are going to be jumping in the back lines, but yeah, there's nothing there. And they're just going to hit my beefy tank line. And now this board is all clumped up for the double Aurelion Soul ults. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And then Lux fires what is it, her projectile, and light binding just kills everything. Yeah, wow, what an awesome endgame there. I felt like I just ran over that lobby at the end of the game. And like, my board could have gotten stronger too. I was 1 Varus off Varus 3-star, not that he was super important. I only had ASOL 1-star. I only had a 1-star Aurelion Soul. Oh, by the way, the skip waiting for stats thing never went away, so I've just put in a screenshot from the third-party website here. But what a fun game. Like, the combination of the high loot lobby giving me tons of items, and then high ranks of Astral giving me tons of items, just synergizing with Protectors of the Cosmos for a ridiculous shield, plus Exiles. I just out-tempoed the lobby. There was nothing they could do. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. Until next time, have a good one, folks. Take care. I'll see you again soon.